Welcome to the Magic Channel.
You know, sometimes a poem can just hit you. It can diagnose the sickness of an entire nation. And that's exactly what we're diving into today with the Ballad of the Lost Politicians. Honestly, this thing reads less like poetry and more like a headline ripped straight from today's news. We're going to explore these really familiar themes it brings up: division, greed, and that big collective search for some kind of honest answer. And this poem, it wastes absolutely no time. It just drops us right in with this single piercing line that gets to the absolute heart of the problem. It paints this picture that, let's be real, we all recognize. A nation so split down the middle that the only thing anyone has in common anymore is just asking, why? So this is the world of the poem, right? A society that's just fractured. The goal isn't progress anymore. Oh no, the new national sport has become this bitter, endless cycle of just pointing fingers. And just look at how perfectly symmetrical this blame game is. You've got the ruling lot pointing fingers at the ones who left, and then you have the rebels cursing the ones in power. But what's the end result here? Both sides are doing the exact same thing, just pointing at the other's sins. It's this perfect, tragic loop, and there's just no way out. But then, the narrator steps in, and they're not here to pick a side. Nope, they're here to condemn the entire rotten system. The poem's verdict is crystal clear. This isn't about one side being right and the other being wrong. The stain, the corruption, it's systemic. It comes from, as the poem says, deep within both of them. So the poem then makes this sharp turn. It pivots from this general feeling of division to a very, very specific list of charges. An indictment, really, against the whole political class. This isn't just a critique anymore. It's like a formal reading of the crimes of these lost politicians. And charge number one, it's direct and it's something we've all heard before: pure greed. The poem accuses them of straight up looting the very institutions that were supposed to protect the nation's wealth. Okay, next the indictment gets a little metaphorical: draining the seas. I mean, it's obviously not about water. It's about this reckless plundering of natural resources, just leaving a barren, broken future for everybody else. And this theme of just pure short-sightedness keeps going. The next charge, they pawned the future. Think about that. Sacrificing long-term stability, sacrificing the well-being of the next generation, all for their own quick, immediate gain. The final charge really drives home the sheer scale of the damage. Borrowing mountains. It just creates this image of a debt that is so massive, so completely unnatural, that there's no way it could ever be repaid. So, after laying out all of these crimes, the poem shifts its focus to the consequences, and it asks a really crucial question: what was the real price that the people had to pay for this betrayal? And the poem doesn't mess around with hypotheticals. It puts a hard number on the loss: 11 trillion. I mean, that's a figure so vast, it's almost impossible to wrap your head around. And according to the Ballad, that's the amount that was just lost in smoke, gone. To try and put that number into perspective, just imagine the nation's entire wealth. The poem breaks it down like this: a massive, massive chunk of it is gone, vanished, leaving just a tiny fraction for the common folk. It's just a devastating way to visualize what was stolen. But the cost isn't just about trillions of dollars. This next line, this is where we see the real human price. The poem says they carved out the marrow of our dream. That's about the theft of hope, of potential, the very soul of a nation's dream. So you have to ask, right? If the cost was so unbelievably devastating, how on earth did this system keep going? Well, the poem reveals this really tragic irony. It's the people themselves who are manipulated into powering the very machine that's crushing them. And the process is broken down into 4 simple, kind of brutal steps. Step 1, a small bribe, right? A little meal, a little drink, just a little something to distract and pacify. That little bit of manipulation is enough to drown the will to think, which just erodes any critical thought. And that makes people vulnerable to step 3, 1,000 lies for one small vote. And the final consequence? A nation sinking without a boat, just completely adrift. So what happens to the architects of all this ruin? Well, even after they're supposedly swept out, the poem paints this absolutely unforgettable picture. It calls them 2 flocks of crows on broken thrones, still craving kingdoms not their own. they're still fighting over the scraps of a kingdom they already destroyed. It's powerful stuff. Now, the poem doesn't wrap things up with a nice, neat solution. Of course not. Instead, it ends with a series of really haunting questions. And these questions aren't just for the people in the poem. They're a direct challenge thrown right at us. The first question is, it's a desperate plea. It's a cry for an end to the darkness, a cry for a new beginning. Oh, when will dawn break through this night? Then the challenge gets a little deeper with the next question. This one is all about awareness. When will they rise and truly see the cost of stolen liberty? When will people finally get what they've really lost? It's not just money, it's their freedom. And the last question, well, this is a direct call to action. It's demanding an answer, but not in words. It wants deeds. When will they lift their blinded eyes and end the lost one's ancient lies? When will people finally break free and stop this cycle? And with that final echoing question, the poem just goes silent. It doesn't offer any easy answers because, well, the answer isn't on the page, is it? It's a challenge that's left for us to solve. So that's been our deep dive into the Ballad of the Lost Politicians. And the question that leaves us all with is, what are we going to do now?
Thank you for watching.